Hello there. It's a rain day. I don't have any employees here today. My wife is gone for, say, a week visiting friends and family, so this is actually probably the only time I'm going to talk to people. And so that is my rationale for doing this video. Holding my bass. Let me explain some things. Our demo is out, and it's so unfortunate and frustrating that I can't release even a part of it, because if I was to put something on YouTube, then I think I would be claiming the copyright to that. And if the band, the group, the project wanted to download stuff onto YouTube and it included that song, they would get in trouble. And so I'm bound not to release anything. Now I could probably say, hey Eli, you know, give me a call, or somebody else, and like I'll just play it for you. Just promise you're not going to record any of it. And I could do that, but yeah, gosh. Now as far as the playing style, it kind of goes along with this. I enjoyed it. The drummer, the bass, the guitarist, keyboard, accordion, keyboardist and accordion player are the one and the same. Me and my violin, mandolin, and viola. I enjoyed it. I enjoy playing old-timey Appalachian music, but I also like using the violin as an electric guitar, because I am a fan of a wide variety of music. And so you could say that my style of playing could be just, it's an ugly video, but Al Jorgensen, when he, with Ministry, Just One Fix would be an example. If you want to hear what I mean, you know, do that. You could turn away from the video because it's very ugly. It's very real because it deals with opioid addiction. But that would be it. Or, a warning, this is not very family friendly, but Al Jorgensen was also connected with Revolting Cocks. And a good example of what I mean about another style that I really like would be his, or their, Revco's version of Do Ya? Do You Think I'm Sexy? Where it's a very simple driving kind of a thing. The drum could be simple. I could use, say I've got a native style big beating drum, you know, it's made out of a hollow basswood log and then it's got cow rawhide on it. Boom, I could handle that. And so this instrument, which I'm trying to learn how to do, and again, not complex, not a jazz bass kind of a thing, but you know, very simple. Think of the bass line from something like Lowrider. You know, it doesn't have to be complex or beyond the ability of somebody to sit down and learn how to play it that doesn't know how to play the bass, you know, in a week. Really, I like that. What I'm thinking is I like playing with this project group, but I also want to do my own stuff. And with this bass, which I could learn simple bass lines, with my drum, with my violin, which I feel I'm confident, you know, enough to play cool stuff, especially if you get away from like a complex kind of hornpipey or reel or something like that, Celtic music, and get to where you're using the violin like an electric guitar, like Al Jorgensen. You know, it's not complicated, shreddy stuff. You know, it's definitely not like Stevie Ray Vaughan style, that kind of blues. But things don't need to be complex to be cool and to really get things moving. So, I draw connections. I had a question today, John, how do you sign your bows? You've never really brought that up. Paraphrasing greatly. Well, to answer that question, if I'm coating them with Helmsman spar urethane varnish, I'll use a pencil. I like kind of that pencil-y, organic, you know, old look to it. If it's going to be a grease and beeswax finish where there's friction because you're going to be re-greasing it every so often, that would rub away the pencil eventually. I have to go with a fine point Sharpie, but that answers that question. Now in return, I'm asking you who have experience recording stuff, Rob in Florida and Eli in Minnesota. This is kind of sideways, but the guitar player in our group gave me this old Roland thing. Mixing board recorder, for lack of better terms, with lots of like sliding switches and dials and places to plug stuff up. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. That's why he gave it to me. His girlfriend actually said if I can't get it up and running, then take it apart and make wind chimes out of it. You know, one of those kind of deals. We don't have an Emmett's Fix-It shop in town here. And so I don't know really what to do with this thing to get it going. I'm at a loss. You know, maybe I'll contact Roland. I don't know if they're in business still. But because of my technical deficiency with electronical gizmos and gadgets, Rob, you record yourself in layers because you play a multitude of instruments extremely well. Plus you sing. And so how could I, a mere mortal in the recording field, what can I do that's not going to break the bank, that would give me the ability to record with a microphone too and plugging stuff in? Like the electric bass, for example. I could even use my pickups and put it on my violin and then take it off and put it on my mandolin, for example. The drum would definitely have to have a microphone. What is a low-cost, good way of recording yourself on different tracks? I don't need to Frankenstein it. And by that, it means you go into the recording studio, and how I did it, the engineer would say, okay, we're just going to play the song 3 times, experiment, have fun, play with it, do different things in each recording, and then they can take, I like this section from track 1. I love these sections in track 2, and I really love this in track 3, and then move them up there. I don't need to do that. I could just do it start to finish until I like what it is and then record it. And so that is that. I actually bought a laptop. I think it's a good one. What the heck brand is it? It's a ThinkPad. It's a Lenovo ThinkPad. And so maybe I can use my laptop somehow. I don't know. Are there good apps as far as like recording stuff that you would recommend? I understand that you get what you pay for, so even if I have to pay a little for that download, that's fine. I just don't want to pay like $500 for it. Are there, back in the day, there would be multi-track, say just recorders, like digital recorders, that might be able to blend stuff too. I don't know. Point me in the right direction. John needs help with this stuff. And again, if you want to see what kind of music, I've played old-timey Appalachian, I've played other stuff for you, of course. But the other one would be The Ministry, Just One More Fix, and Revco's Do You Think I'm Sexy? And that's kind of like where I want to go with things. Actually, they're industrial rock songs. Al Jorgensen was with both, and I really like his style of stuff. I like his style of guitar. It's simple. It's not as complex as, again, Stevie Ray Vaughan or Eddie Van Halen, you know, kind of a stuff, or Eric Clapton or Jeff Beck or anything like that. But it doesn't need to be complicated to be good. It does not need to be complicated to be good. And that is my savior as far as the electric bass. Have a good one. I appreciate your watching, and I appreciate in advance any help as far as getting into doing some simple recording that doesn't need to be Frankenstein, and it could be just a digital recorder. It could be a computer program for mixing. I don't know. Help. Get that out of the way. My wind chime.